actually spending £10,000 on deciding how to cut a hedge.
I'm sorry, Councillor Strange, I'm not quite sure.
That's
that's
the, well,
I'm
basically,
not quite sure that's a question on the findings.
well, it is a question because this whole basis. This is a premise of that I have made a comment that there is an obsessive campaign against me, as per what is stated there. There's no point in me paraphrasing. We can all read that, and that they're too obsessed with this campaign against me to bother to cut in a hedge. So I'm asking, there is this campaign against me. There is evidence which we'll come to later, which was ignored. So basically, all we have is we're discussing the cutting of a hedge. And we spent £10,000 on the cutting of a hedge.
King, do you have any response?
The only response I can make is it's not my role or for me to determine or decide whether or not a complaint exists. That's not what I've done.
So who's that?
I've been asked to investigate a complaint that's been made.
Thank you. I do apologise.
That's what I've been asked to do.
So whose is that role, sorry?
That would be a question you have to ask us for.
Yeah, with the democratic services. When the request, when a complaint comes through, then that's when it is presented to the standards assessment subcommittee, and it is for that committee then to determine whether or not that should be investigated.
We have got a procedure for dealing with complaints. And I'm going to refer you all, bear in mind, we're talking about cutting of a hedge.
Councillor Strange,
This is relevant.
I'm really sorry, but I must keep you to
I am keeping to it, and this is very relevant. Because the findings of this is based on our policies. And I do apologise, I'm not that clever on paper sometimes. Yes, there is basically 1.6. There are complaints which fall into the following categories, which are also not put before the subcommittee for consideration. F is the most important one. It's in bold and it is underlined. Where there is a breach of the code of conduct, that the breach is minor in nature and would not warrant an investigation. I consider spending up to £10,000 to discuss the cutting of an edge minor. Anyway, I'll move on from that.
Have we got another question?
We've got plenty of questions over there. Right, 4.3. Councillor Strangeway did not accept that the code of conduct had a legal basis. Absolutely correct, Nick. Could you please tell me where in statute that is supported? It is not a legal framework. It is created by statute. It is not. There is no legal basis behind it.
I'm afraid that question sounds to me as if that's not related to.
Of course, it's related.
The investigating officer's findings.
Of course, it's related. Because we have got somebody here stated in his role as a legal person something that is not legally correct. That is totally misleading this committee. I'm happy to move on.
Thank you.
Young gentleman over there, Angus Young from the Hull Daily Mail, Georgie Journo in Hull, I believe he's referred to on his Twitter account. And he states on there, all my views are my own. If this is actually irrelevant again, if I could ask Nick, are they Angus's views or Hull Daily Mail's views?
Councillor Strangeway, yet again,
Right,
this isn't a
sorry,
question on the finding of.
So you don't, okay, it is very relevant. I'm going to point 6. My disclaimer. Opinions and statements on the Andy Strangeway dependent block are those of the owner Andy Strangeway in private individual, and not those of Councillor Andy Strangeway, elected member of East Riding of Yorkshire Council. That is fact. There is legal basis to my disclaimer, as there is legal basis to Angus Young's disclaimer on his Twitter feed account. And if any of the 3 legally qualified people in this room would like to disagree with this, please look straight at the cameras and disagree with that. That my disclaimer has got no legal basis.
I don't think it's a question again related to.
It is an exceedingly important question because basically I have been dragged into this room because it is stated that that site is a site of Councillor Andy Strangeway. That site is not the site of Councillor Andy Strangeway. It is the site of Andy Strangeway.
Councillor Strangeway, you will be able to have the opportunity to make these cases. At the moment, we really are focusing on the findings of fact. So,
no problem. Well, these are. Why are these not facts?
So
these are clear facts. These are clear facts. These are clear facts.
Yeah, so I think that's what I've just said, that you will have the.
So these are clear facts, and I'm asking these questions Nick has used this basis to form his opinion. And I'm asking Nick his questions. Well, that is an illegal basis. He is a qualified legal gentleman. And as per, our system here, I have a right to do that. And Nick has a right, of course, he can say no comment.
Nick, would you like to respond?
Is it legal, Nick?
It's not my place to advise the committee today.
No comments. Thank you very much.
I'm here as a solicitor, I'm here as an investigating officer.
Absolutely.
And all I need to do is to present the contents of the report, and it's a matter for the committee whether or not they agree or disagree with anything that's said inside it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that clarification.
Thank you very much. So basically, we have no comment on the legal basis of that, and that's what this, one of the things that this case hangs on. 7.4, and this is exceedingly fundamental. What page is it on? So we can find it on the record. Now put that the way for us. .4, and I refer you to Councillor Strangeway has produced no conclusive evidence of such a campaign. He did ask the investigating officer to investigate Facebook pages which he alleged identified that campaign. This is not entirely relevant as the investigation carried out by the investigation officer was not into the actions or behaviour of the complainants. Nick, you have stated there that I do not provide evidence. I recorded on this phone. I provided that to you. I said, there's the Facebook page, scroll down it. Of course, there's people in this audience today who have been putting comments on that Facebook. There is a stalking campaign going on against me. I also offered you the option. I could have asked my office to produce every page of the last 6 months prior to that date, and even to last night, those things are still going on there. You declined that, and you are now stating I provided no evidence. Could you please explain that comment?
I don't think I say provided no evidence. I think I say that you asked me or offered me to look on Facebook, and I believe I politely declined that offer.
Yes.
And the reason I declined that offer is I set out in the report, and I'm happy to talk about 7.4 in this regard, although I'm not talking about finding of fact, is I was asked to investigate specific points.
Yes.
I wasn't asked to investigate complainants.
You have made a comment there with all due respect, Nick, that I did not provide it. I provided it. You chose not to look at it.
I believe I said you asked me to look on Facebook.
Yes.
And I declined that offer.
Absolutely. You are stating there, I provided no evidence of this campaign against me, and I've clearly done that.
I think that Mr. Keynes responded.
Thank you very much.
I just need to slightly interrupt proceedings because it's just been pointed out to me that the lady at the back who's come in and is filming on the tablet, and you came in a bit late, and we read out that if members of the public do not wish to be filmed during proceedings should indicate now. Some members of the public did, and some of those members of the public are sitting in front of you.
Precisely there, I'm carefully not getting them into an instruct.
As long as, I mean, that's really important if members of the public, and if members of the public are feeling that you want to maybe sit in a different position so that you're definitely not going to catch the members of the public who have been very clear in their wish, then that would reduce the risk of that happening. I wonder if that might be a good idea. I'm just suggesting that maybe
I know the plans are up over there, I'm very carefully not.
I'm just wondering if it might be a good idea, just out of respect to those members of the public who already indicated that they don't want to be filmed, just to give them some reassurance, if you don't mind. Thank you. Okay. That's 21. Okay. So, have you any more questions on the findings of fact? Because you will have the opportunity, Councillor Strangeway, to support or make your versions. And
yes, well, I should understand it does appear rather confusing. That's what I would respect to ask Sarah in the beginning at what point, and so I'll actually go back through these at a later date if we're incorrect at this point. But I would draw people's attention to 7.11, and I think it's rather fundamental in this situation. Let's agree to disagree between myself and Nick. I am saying, basically, that that site, which I'd like to add at this point, was started on the 17th of March 2016, 3 weeks before I became a councillor. And Nick said that was not relevant. It's my political site. I'll move on. On this, Nick has made the statement that the comments made about the complainants were not an expression of political view. We'll have a difference of opinion here. I'm saying that's my political site. This is a question, sorry, I've got to give the background. I'm saying that's my political site. Nick is saying, with all due respect, to say that it's a site of Councillor Strangeway, who was a politician. These issues are being raised on, I do apologise, I'm sure we cross backwards and forwards, on a website called Pockington Area Politics. All three have the word politics. But for some reason, Nick has come as a brief, and this is what you are all relying your opinions on, that the comments made about the complaints were not an expression of a political view. I can assure you, as an independent, I appreciate the three members here are all members of parties. I'm an independent, and what my political view is on can be on anything and can go either way. Nick has falsely stated that this is my political view, and as such, my Article 10 rights exist, my right to political expression, and that is a fundamental reason we are in this building today. You have stated that false, sir, and I'm happy.
Can I?
Do come back to this later? You want to come back to this later, Chair?
Again, Councillor Strangeway, I'm really struggling to find that you're asking a question.
Well, I am asking.
I
can ask the question straight now. I can ask the question.
To express yourself.
I can ask the question straight. No, Madam Chair.
And as I say, you do have your opportunity. What I'd really like to do is to move on to the next stage, which is to invite our independent person to be given the opportunity to question the evidence that's put forward by the investigating officer. So it's your question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have no further questions on the findings of fact. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so the committee is now given the opportunity to ask any questions to the investigating officer on the findings of fact. No questions? Okay. So this is now Councillor Strangeway. You've got the opportunity to make any representations in support of your version of the facts, and you may call witnesses if required, and if the committee agrees.
So I do apologise. Should I do that at this point? Did I make a mistake there, Sarah? I do apologise.
This is the opportunity now where you...
Okay, so I'm brief. Okay.
Yeah, first part, just around the question of the investigating officer, this is now your opportunity to make representations and then to call in witnesses.
Okay, so I'll just go through these without putting questions on the end. Not a problem at all. So yes, my first point is with regards to the fact that there is 157, 158, 167, 171. I am very sure that if each of the individual 5 committee people were taken into a separate room, you could not all say what each complaint was about, such as confusion. With regards, as we've clearly seen already, there has been no evidence provided to say that I've used my position as an elected member of East Yorkshire Riding Council to bully others. Whether I've tickled the nose with this badge is beyond me. I have no idea what I'm in relation to have done in my position of. That is what is stated. 3.3. I'm just at a loss. In a few weeks' time, members of this authority will be discussing next year's budget, and we'll be discussing, and we will be raising the council tax for the people in the East Riding, 337,000 people. And we waste money because people stalk a member. The amount of paperwork, the amount of work Nick has to have to do, the independent member, the legal team, this is ridiculous. When a basic reference to this document, which I'm happy to put forward to members, is minor. We're talking about the cutting of an hedge, for God's sake, that's all. This basically comes down to terms and conditions, contract law. You buy a phone, you buy a cup, you go buy a cup of coffee. You enter into a contract, you have terms and conditions. It is not for the customer to state them terms and conditions, you enter into a contract. Of course you've got reasonable terms and conditions, etc. My terms and conditions are clearly displayed. With all due respect to the independent person, which states in this, like she scrolled down, I couldn't see it. Yes, on one thread, it's a scroll. If you click on any of the pages, that disclaimer will be about that far down. It is clearly displayed. In the same way that the journalist from the Daily Mail is clearly displayed. There is this belief that we do not have separate identities as human beings. I will give you one basic analogy. I'm not up with one football involved, so I expect I'm going back a few years. David Beckham, bit of a footballer. Let's say David Beckham gets offered a contract to be a journalist at the Sun. Now, at that point, he's a journalist of the Sun. He is not.
Councillor Strangeway, I really must urge you to stick with...
I am. This is very relevant. This is very relevant to explain my position, because unfortunately it's not been understood, hasn't it? When he's on that football pitch, David Beckham is a footballer. When he steps onto in that article, he's a journalist. That site, my site, was established on the 7th of March 2016, before I became an elected member of this authority. Prior to that, I was a campaigner, and I will remain a campaigner. That site will continue to exist. Currently, a lot of my political activities are undertaken in the role as Andy Strangeway. That's what it's done. It is published by Andy Strangeway, not Councillor Andy Strangeway, in the same way as Beckham kicks a football and can also write an article. Two different titles. Many people here are parents, many people here are children, many people are directors, whatever. We do it, that does exist in law. Thank you. I've mentioned about the disclaimer of Angus Young's. If my disclaimer's not got legal basis, with all due respect, Angus's hasn't. And Hull Daily Mail are liable. Opinions, which that statement I referred to, that is clearly, my legal statement is clearly published. Anybody who enters into that, that is a clear thing. The issue with this council is that I have been held into account, and this is without doubt a witch hunt, orchestrated by the Conservative Party and senior members of this authority, and I stand by that. I would like to continue.
Councillor Strange,
yes?
I must try and advise you against making allegations.
I'm not making allegations with all due respect, Madam Chair. If you want me to support anything I will say, I will support anything I state. They're not allegations, they are fact. I will continue. Thank you. As an obsessive hate campaign produced against me, and this thing that I produced no conclusive evidence of such a campaign, I did produce it. The investigating officer declined to look at it. And that is fact, and that is supported by Nick. There was evidence of an obsessive campaign against me. That campaign, I have been stopped for over 6 months to a year. These three people here will come and give evidence of that. And it's been a disgrace. I would like to go to the Human Rights Act, and this is very, very important here. The comments made about the complainants were not an expression of political view. This is covered in the Human Rights Act, Freedom of Expression, Article 10. This can cover political expression, artistic expression, etc. Most important aspect of this, it is a right without, and I quote, interference by public authority. East Riding Council is a public authority. The reason I ask about the legal framework of this code of conduct is because that law supersedes any policy that this council has. That law is enshrined in British law, European law, and international law. My right of political expression, and I'm an independent. And of course, there is a caveat to that. And the thing is simply this: so long as I have not committed any other crimes, I can assure everybody I have committed no crime. That is clearly my expression or political expression. This complaint is an attempt to deny my rights to political expression. That is a fundamental right of this country. And I will stand by that, and I will hold this council to account. Nobody, especially an independent, should ever be denied their right to political expression. And I am stating in this room today, there is an attempt in this building to close me down. I know for a fact there's 2 Conservative councillors. This is my evidence. There's 2 councillors who are stating their sole objective is to get me arrested. And these people, linking to some people in this audience today, I'll leave it at that, because obviously you're trying to close me down at this point. But rest assured, it has failed. Whatever findings see today, I will go and publish the same facts, because that is my political expression, as enshrined and as is fought for by our forefathers. Thank you.
I think Councillor Strangeway, you have had good opportunity to
Bless you, thank you.
to express your views.
Could I now